Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nur Maulana Shah Kareem Hussaini Hazrima. Ya Maula Meherban, help us Maula, help us Maula. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal Maula, wa ni'mal Nasir. Shukran lillahi walhamdulillah, shukran lillahi walhamdulillah. Once again, Ya Ali Madad to all friends. We are continuing with this Farman, Farman number 38 of Zanzibar, July 30th, 1899. And we had reviewed the whole Farman towards the end. We just have to finish this few paragraphs. So let us recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. તમે મગજ ત્યાગ કરો છો અને છિલટા ખાઓ છો તેમાં તમે છિલટા માં ખાઓ મગજ ખાઓ. Very, very profound teaching of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah throughout that seek tawil, seek essence, seek the reality and not the tanzil or superficial things or shariat. Seek Ḥaqīqat. All these are different terms for us to understand what Imam is teaching us, that eat the mugs of almond, the essence of almond, the inner reality of the almond, not the peel of it or the top part or superficial part or shariat, tanzil. We have to seek the tawil. However, the journey starts from outside to inside. So we all understand the profound teaching. We have to be consistently following that. ખલીફા ઉસ્માનના સમયમાં કુરાન શરીફમાંથી કેટલાક ભાગ કાઢી નાખવામાં આવ્યા છે અને કેટલાક ભાગ ઉમરે દેવામાં આવ્યો છે. So it is a fact that Quran was bigger than the book we today have. Imam is saying that there were many parts which Umar did not include in the Quran. And we all know the fact of it because when we recite Nade Ali or when we recite this other zikr for Maula Ali, let's talk about Nade Ali, but there are so many hadith-e-Qudsi. You will hear the term hadith-e-Qudsi. There is a hadith about Adam as well. So there are so many hadith-e-Qudsi which were revealed to Prophet, and they were part of Quran, but they were not included in Quran because they were more clear about Janashini of Maula Ali. In fact, if you were to read the book Tafsir Durre Manshur by Sunni, Maulvi Sunni scholar Sitoti, and he talks about the part When we recite our third part, Ya Ayyuhar Rasulu Balligh, that give the message to the people and don't fear people, and God will not accept whatever you have done throughout your prophethood if you were not to give this message. And following that, it actually mentions Maula Ali's, Janashini, and this Sunni scholar says that with the Quranic verse in his book. However, other Sunni scholar refute that. So even among Sunni scholar, there are differences. The important point what we are making here is that Quran, there are parts of Quran which are intentionally not included. I do remember in Iran, some of our friends did find complete chapters of Quran which were not included, and we don't talk about it because we right now we have a book of Quran and we follow that. And Imam in his Farman in Kalam-i Mubin, when we were to read, Imam has clearly said that no matter they have removed these, literally 10 paras, 10 sections. Currently we have 30 sections. Imam says no matter if they've removed that 10 sections, the Quran which we have is enough to prove about, Imamat of Maula Ali. And again, today, when we study the Tawili meaning of Quranic verses, I am sure we all are seeing Imam in every verse of Quran when we discuss the Tawil. And that's what Imam's teaching is, that we need to seek Tawil, we need to seek the mugs, essence, When we understand that part, it doesn't matter the Quran book, which is incomplete. And look at the way we recite this Naad Ali. It is not part of Quran, but it is the part and parcel of the hearts of Ismaili Mu'mineen. So they have done what they wanted to do, but those who are Ḥaqīqati, those who are with Imam, those who are with Ismaili, for them it is not an hindrance. So it does not matter that Quran has some parts missing. The parts which we have, it is enough for us to study and spend our whole life to understand the ta'wil of it and find Imam everywhere. Imam પાસે હર વખતે એક ચીજ નવી હોય છે, તે અત્રે જાહેરી કરવાની નથી, પછી કહેવામાં આવશે. Very interestingly, Imam says that with Imam there is always something new, but I'm not going to reveal that today. Sometime later we will talk about it. In Imam, who is the Imam of this time, this era, with Imam there are so many secrets according to time which Imam reveals on his Mu'mineen, depending on how the Mu'mins are ready to seek that level of knowledge, wisdom, is given to those Mu'mineen who meet the criteria. So even if we have just one Quran with 6,666 verses, if each verse were to have 70 tawi or more than that, our lifetime will not suffice for us to understand the secrets and miracles at ilmul yaqeen level, which are given in Quran. Yeah, if we were to get into the anul yaqeen, haqqul yaqeen, and we are able to, go and have our own qiyamah, resurrection, then in our batin, Imam can unfold all the secrets. And today, that is why when we read the books of those Mu'mineen, our peers and our Hujjatan, who had gone through the resurrection, their books are full of ta'wil, because in their batin, Imam had given them the knowledge. So Imam's miracle is always, with us, and he's always willing to share his secrets to those who are worthy, who are ready, who are deserving. But this time Imam to this Jama'at says that sometimes later we will talk about it. અમારું કામ કરવામાં જે ફાયદો છે તેના કરતાં પંજે ભાઈનું કામ કરવામાં વધારે ફાયદો છે. મોમિનનું કામ કરે છે તે જાણે અમારું કામ કરે છે તેને ઘણો ફાયદો છે. So very profound teaching again, that we all love Imam and we want to serve Imam, but Imam's service is through Jama'at. Imam's service is through Jama'at, and Imam is very clearly teaching here that if you do my work, it is better, it is of more beneficial, it is more beneficial to work for Panje Bhai, to do the work of the Jamaat. In the service of Jamaat is the service of Imam. I mean, that is very, very clear, and that is why voluntarism is so strong, that we really inculcate that value in our children, that we need to serve the Jamaat. However, in service also there are levels, and when we are attached to knowledge service, that is more exalted than other services. Not saying that other services are not important, because we have to do what we have to do to have Jamaat functioning and receiving what they need to receive. So according to our calling, according to our potentials, according to Maula's mercy, we have to remember that khidmat is part and parcel of our Jamaat. So Alhamdulillah, we finish this Farman here. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah. Now let us start this new Farman, again Zanzibar, and it is of August. We finished the Farmans of month July, now it is August. August 20th, 1899. हक मौलाना धनी सलामत दातार सरकार आका सुल्तान मोहम्मद शाह हाजरी माह में फरमाव्યું सलवात पढ़िए अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आला અલ્હમ્દુલિલ્લાહ તમે બધા મોમન છો, તમારું ઈમાન સલામત ના હોય અને ફરમાન ઉપર ચાલો તેમાં ફાયદો નથી. How clear can Imam be? Imam is very saying that you all are mu'minin, and if your iman is not complete, it is not firm, it is not complete, then what is the benefit? Imam is saying that you all are mu'minin. So the question here is that how can one be a mu'min and iman be incomplete? Remember, everything has darajat. The word mu'min, when we see, and we generally use this word for Jamaat, but even within the Jamaat there are darajat. And Imam is saying that if you are a mu'min and your iman is not sabit, salamat, can you imagine that Imam is able to see, and Imam is saying that? Now it is again incumbent upon us to be able to see, in ourselves, that are we falling in that category? Is our iman salamat or not? So of course we have to understand iman. And it is so amazing, just to share with you, that in Gujrati Farman session, we read one of the Farman, this Ruhani Farman, that Iman is actually Nur, and through that we entered into the verses of Quran of Nur, and we started the course of Imam Shanasi in that group. So it is truly Imam's mercy that seekers, when they are gathered and they are seeking, Imam creates ways and means for Mu'mineen to receive what they need. So very important aspect of becoming a mu'min who becomes consistent in making the iman progressive, because iman can be stagnant as well. And when Imam is saying that your iman is not sabit or complete, meaning it is stagnant, iman also has to be progressing. It has to be progressive, it has to be learning and reaching to the stage of having complete, firm iman. So even in iman there are darajat, and I hope that you must have heard these three ranks which are being spoken by our Buzurgwar Deen: iman-e naqis, iman-e raji, and iman-e kamil. Incomplete iman, seeking iman, progressive iman, and complete iman. So iman also has darajat. If the iman is not complete, then what is the benefit? So one may think that they are smiley, one may think they are going to Jamaat Khana, one may think they are paying the son and they are good smileys. But Imam says if your iman is not salamat, it's not complete, there is no benefit. So should we not do that, what we are doing, like going to Jamaat Khana, paying the son and doing whatever we are doing? No, that is not what Imam is saying here. Imam is saying that if you are working on some aspects of Shariat, of rituals, of following the kiryas of our tariqa, why not seek essence as well? Why not seek deeper meaning as well? Why not increase your knowledge that every ritual becomes, hakikati practice for you? You go beyond the acts and actions. And of course, I have to give this example that today we go to Jamaat Khana, we say dua, but we still do not do Shahjudidar. We do not shake hands. Does that mean that we are not doing Shahjudidar or now we are deprived? This is one reminder, actually, I would say. This is one reminder for us that do not be so much, you know, uh, grappling into the physical rituals which we do in Jamaat Khana. Kiryas are important to some extent. Shariat in the time of Qiyamah, if you remember what we studied in the book of Jamaat Khana, that Shariat in the time, this end time, this Qiyamah period, is only 15%. Ḥaqīqat and Marifat is more. So it is high time for us to realize that when we are seeking Iman, completion of the Iman, we cannot remain happy at the level of Kiryas. We have to go beyond. And to go beyond, you cannot if you do not have knowledge. At the ilmul yaqeen, if you do not have knowledge, you just cannot go beyond. People will be practicing Kirya, perfecting Kirya, and that is it. But there is a whole world beyond Kiryas, which we really have to explore, which is this knowledge, understanding the Tawili books of our tariqah. And that is why, sometimes following the tariqah becomes boring. I have heard myself, people say, oh, today we went to this majlis. Anything new? Same dua, same this, same that. And I would be shocked that how can you make that comment? There were so many things. But again, there are Jama'ati members who are not willing to learn and grow. So for them, it becomes boring because it is the repetition of same thing. And today we live in this world of social media where every second we see different thing, constant stimulation. Of course, people will go to Jamaat Khan and fall asleep because there is nothing new, right? So we have to realize and understand that it is high time that when we go to Jamaat Khana and if we are not connected to the Ḥaqīqat part of Jamaat Khana, then we are going to miss, oh, why don't we shake hands? And why don't we do this? And why don't we do that? So you will hear people saying different things. Why? Because they lack in knowledge. So they will say what they will say. But when we are gathered in this kind of majlis, in ilmi majlis, and we are understanding that there is more to our tariqah, in fact, that Imam is saying that the Iman is not complete, then even if you call yourself Mu'min, even if you're in Jamaat Khan and doing your Kirya, what is the benefit? That's what we need to think about. હજારો તરેના કરજ તમારા ઉપર છે. માણસ જન્મે છે ત્યારેથી જ કરજ લઈને આવે છે. તેમાં ખુદાવંદ તાલા પાસે કબૂલ થયા છો. માટે લાજમ છે કે તમારું કરજ અદા કરો. તમારા માથે મોટું કરજ એ છે કે તમે પોતે પાક થાઓ. તમે મોમિન હો પણ થોડી કસર હોય તે કામ નહીં આવે. Now, this paragraph is very important to understand because some Jama'ati members have taken the words and taken it out of context. Here, Imam says that you have debt on you. You have debt on you. You have come to this world with debt. And when you are born in this world, you have to, pay your debt. You have accepted, you have taken this commitment that you are going to this world. You have given this bayah, accepted with Khudavan Ta'ala, with Lord, that you will pay your debt. Therefore, Imam says it is compulsory that you pay your debt. And the biggest debt which is on your head is that you purify yourself. If you are a Mu'min and if you have little bit of deficiency in any aspect, it would not work for you. So when Jamati members, again, depending on geographical location and background and whatnot, when we see the word courage, when we see the word death, people again go into the concept of Janam Maran and, the concept of reincarnation in Hindu. Our tariqa does talk about uh, births, rebirths. It does talk about it. But it is nothing to do with the concept of reincarnation. If any friend here has not listened to the lecture of reincarnation, I would request you to please ask Kareem to share that lecture with you, and you will be able to understand that there's whole discussion behind this word courage, death, which people relate to uh, reincarnation. We do not believe in reincarnation the way Hindus believe, but we do have rebirths. And if I may, because I'm sure friends must be thinking, what do I mean by rebirth and how do I say that what I say? And I'm going to give you one example to answer that question, and then we'll go further because I don't want you to get stuck there. When we talk of rebirth, we have to understand that forget about anybody and everybody. Just look at Imam. Today we see Hazri Imam, he's Shah Karim, but we call him Ali. It is the same Ali, it is the same Noor who is getting, new births and coming to this world. It is the same Noor, same Ali, but he is being born in different forms. So in our tariqa, we do believe in rebirths, but we do not believe in reincarnation the way Hindus think about it and the way they talk about the debt. If you don't pay the debt, you are going to born in animal, in lower caste and whatnot. These are all Hindu, beliefs. In fact, I can tell you it was not Hindu religion belief, but over a period of time, people seeking power, they have twisted and turned the true meaning of tariqa, of their religion. Every religion was a true religion in one point in time. Every religion was a true religion in one point in time. But when the Noor leaves that religion, when the Noor leaves that religion, it becomes stagnant and there is mix going on. How do I say that? When Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was there, he was our Natik, and people who followed him, they were following the true religion. But today we call them Christians because they became stagnant. They stood where they were. They did not accept the new Natik, which was Prophet Muhammad. So this is people's habit. They will make their own, mosque, the way we say it in idiom, that, they will build their own buildings and they will say, this is my building. And that's how what has happened to religion. God has no different religion. It is one religion, and one Noor, which is consistently the chain of light of Imamat has been continued in this world, even with our Natiks. So we understand that part. What is Imam saying here? When Imam says that you have debt on you and you must pay the debt, Imam actually is answering as well, but we don't pay attention to the answer. Imam is saying that you have made a promise, you have given your commitment to the Lord that you will recognize Him. તમે પાસે કબૂલ ખુદાવંદ તાલે પાસે કબૂલ થયા છો માટે લાજમ છે કે તમે તમારો કરજ અદા કરો અને મોટો કરજ એ છે કે તમે પોતે પાક થાઓ. Now in this word, become pure, purify yourself. All the concepts do come inside. How? If we are part of the universal soul, if we have accepted that, Ya Mola, we are going to go to this world and we will be, we will recognize you, because that is the commitment. And it is completely, it is in its totality, that it is mercy that we are being born in Ismaili Tariqa. And Imam himself has said that I have given you birth with love and affection. Love and affection on your soul to be born in Ismaili Tariqa. So we were beloved to Imam, and that is why he calls us my beloved spiritual children. When we are born in this Tariqa, it is our, of course, his mercy. But there is a responsibility attached as well. Why the whole humanity is not born as Ismaili? Why everybody doesn't believe in Imam as Imam Muttaqeen, Imam of the righteous? Because they don't know, they've not been born smileys. They will have to seek Imam to come to the tariqah. For us, we have Imam with us. So there is a difference. Imam loved our soul. Now, what is our responsibility? That when we give promise to Imam, we need to purify ourselves. We need to purify ourselves, meaning the soul which has come from this ocean of the soul or universal soul, it has returned to that pure soul. And impure cannot be with pure. The impurities have to go, so we become pure to be one with him. So we realize just from this word, if we take any verse in Quran, when God says that, "O Prophet, accept, tell them to say their prayers and accept zakat from them, so you purify them, you pray for them and you purify them," meaning that his prayers, when we follow the commands of our God, our Prophet, and our Imam, Farman Bardari, when we have that, then he will pray for us and we will become pure as if the way we were born, the soul without any sins, and it will become one with that universal soul. So what is the key here? Farman Bardari. That is the debt that we have come with, meaning we are being born in Smiley Tariqa. It is our privilege. It is our privilege. It is not an accident that we are born Smiley Tariqa. And there are duties, responsibilities that we have to fulfill to become that pure, to pay that debt which we have accepted. We have promised that we will pay that debt. Otherwise, there will be, the oneness, the fanafil Imam which we seek, it will not happen because we are impure. There is nothing, the impurities, will have any role or any ability to become one with the purity. They are two different things, they are opposites, right? So we have to purify ourselves to become one with the Imam. His prayers are with us. Our actions have to be there. And that is absolute Farman Bardari. जो બાયો બદનજર કરે, કોઈની ગીબત કરે અથવા સાંભળે તો તેમને બંદગી કામ નહીં આવશે. બાયોની ફરજ છે કે પોતાનો જુસ્સો પાક રાખે, પોતાના મરદ સિવાય બધાને પોતાના ભાઈ તથા બાપ સમાન સમજે. છાંટો કાંકન કરે ને નજર પાક ના હોય તો કાંઈ પણ કામ આવે નહીં. ઈમાન સાથે છાંટો નખાવે તે છાંટો છે. अगर पाक ना हो तो ते पानी परस छे. Subhanallah. This is again another important farman, part of farman Imam is giving us, that those women who do badnazar, who have thoughts of other men in their heart, and if they were to do that, then what is the benefit? And if I may, we all are adults here, and we do know that we hear in Jama'at extramarital affairs, men or women. So all these are, not the path for mu'mineen. And Imam here again, gives the examples of ghibat, gossiping, or doing ghibat, or listening to it. If we were to do that, our bandagi will not be accepted. Our bandagi will not be accepted. So we will be really, if I may say, stupid that if we pray, if we go to Jama'at Khana, if we do bandagi, and then we listen to the ghibat, or we do the ghibat, all what you did is stolen, it's gone. Why would you do that? We would never do that to our physical money, and we will think of it as hard-earned money, and we don't want to, let anybody take advantage of it. We will be very protective of our money, not trust anybody. Do we do same thing with our good deeds, our amal, our bandagi? Because we don't value it. We don't realize the importance of it because we don't see it. It is all about batin, right? Bandagi you don't see. But it is only knowledge which will open up your eyes to see that if you are doing any single good deed, let's say just one good deed, if you earned $1, would you not protect it? because you worked hard. If you did one good deed, why would you not protect it? So I don't need to say anything further. I think we all understand it, right? That if we are doing good deeds and then we are wasting it as well, then why are we, what are we doing? What are we doing? We need to really wake up. And Imam says then, "Bayuni fare che ke potano juso pak rakhe potana mare." So do not have any thoughts of other men in the heart. Do not be eyeing other men. And in today's world of media and social things and whatnot, how many of us remain mindful that if we do what we do in this physical world, and we indulge in those thoughts, even seeing somebody, and we indulge in those thoughts, we are falling into the category of sinning. And so we have to be very mindful that what we are watching in this world and how we are watching and what we are doing, all those things which take us away from morality. We cannot afford to do that if we are truly seekers of this path. If we really are seeking the hereafter, the house which is going to be ours permanently with Imam in hereafter, then we really have to be saving very conscientiously, very mindfully. The way in the physical world, we save money to buy things. If we are truly the seekers of hereafter, that's how we'll have to think. Imam then says very clearly that, people do chanta and all those kiryas. Again, remember kiryas. We pay a lot of attention to kiryas, which is important. I'm not saying it is not, but to some extent. Kirya is not everything, because look at this, exactly this Farman. That Imam is saying that those, let's say, who drink niyaz or who do chanta seeking forgiveness of the sins, but if they are not, purifying themselves through knowledge and through good deeds, purifying themselves, then, it is as if they are pani parast. They are, worshipper of the water, taking chanta, having water being splashed on our face, or even drinking niyaz. They are worshipper of the water. What is the essence behind the water? It is the knowledge. Let it be chanta or let it be niyaz. So every kriya is actually a symbol for us to seek the reality behind it. It is a misal, and we need to seek mamsul, the reality, the object of that ritual, the Ḥaqīqat of that ritual. But if we were to understand Ḥaqīqat and despite that be not mindful, then again, there are levels, right? One can be without knowledge and being the worshipper of the water. But then when you come to knowledge, you realize that you change. And being consistent in knowledge, because we are constantly reminded in knowledge, right? Constantly we receive this reminder, number one, and then we also receive this joyous feeling when we understand something, because we are receiving the food for our intellect. And in our being, the highest is the intellect. When intellect gets happy, when intellect receives the food, the pleasure of it is felt in all our being. And then we are truly seeking more of that pleasure, because the worldly pleasure will not please us the way the intellectual pleasures will please us. The true happiness, if a moment wants to experience, it is intellectual happiness. It is intellectual pleasures, way above, beyond the sensual pleasures, right? But one has to be going into that direction to realize that these pleasures are much, much pleasing than any physical pleasure we have ever known. So again, these are, motivating for those who have tasted these fruit of intellectual pleasures. If they've not tasted, they would not know. So it is very important to realize what Imam is saying, not to become pani parast, worshipper of the water, or following the Shariat for the sake of Shariat. And Shariat has to be minimized. This is the end time. Shariat has to go down, and that is why We don't realize it. Why Jamaat Khana time is so limited? Why everything is becoming smaller and condensed and condensed? And people are missing it. Why are they missing it? Because they are followers of the Shariat. So they say that Shariat is just a symbol. It is just an uh, uh, physical reminder, a brief physical reminder of the Ḥaqīqat which should be with us 24 hours. So I hope that this profound teaching Imam is giving, it is really making sense in our being what Imam is teaching. And Jamaat is so interested in Shariat that they'll continuously want to be repeatedly do, learn that, understand that, and find joy in that. Shariat out of 100% is only 15%. It should be 15%. It may not be 15% for the Jama'ati members who don't have knowledge. But when we are seeking knowledge, we have to understand the Shariat is only 15%. It is Ḥaqīqat and then Marifat, which has to be 50% and more, right? So we have to realize today's time, we cannot be Pani Parast if we understand what is end time. ગુના થઈ જાય તો ખુદાવંદ તાલાને પાસે તોબા માંગવી બાયુની ફરજ છે કે પોતાના મરદના હુકમ ઉપર ચાલે. બાયુની ફરજ છે કે શૈતાનને પોતાથી દૂર રાખે. શૈતાન બહારથી આવતો નથી, દિલમાં શૈતાન છે તે બાયુને સુરતમાં બાયુ પાસે આવે છે. તે જાહેરમાં માણસ છે અને ઈમાન લઈ જાય છે. Again, very profound teaching with lots of concepts, and we are just kind of paraphrasing and trying. But I'm telling you, if you were to not study the Tawili books, or I would say, if you don't attend the sessions on, global lectures, book of healing, Sunday lectures, we will start another book. Wednesday, Thursday, when we do book studies on weekdays in the evening, if you don't attend those sessions, if you don't read those few paragraphs, few pages, and remain with the book study, you will not understand what Imam is teaching. I'm going to repeat, you will not understand what Imam is teaching. You may think that you understand, but you will not understand what Imam is teaching, because all this Tawili ilm in the end time has come for Mu'mineen to elevate themselves. So if we are for some reason not attending book sessions, please, I request you humbly, if you are here, attend book sessions. Make a habit of reading those few paragraphs, few pages, few points. Listen to the explanation, go back to that book and try and eat those intellectual fruits. And then give yourself time, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, come back and tell me how different you are. And I can sign on a guarantee paper that you will be different. You will be better in Iman, you will be better in your deeds, and you'll be better in your Aman. Your bandagi you will enjoy, you will have joy. And there is no doubt about it. Imam in this paragraph is teaching us that when you sin, of course, when you sin and you realize, you seek forgiveness. Believe me, there are darajat even in seeking forgiveness, even in understanding of guna. In another Farman, Imam has said that a mu'min also, a true mu'min also sins 7 times a day. And one would, I've heard this comment that even if the mu'min, true mu'min like Paigambars, they sin, then who are we? We are sinners for sure. This is complete ingratitude and not understanding Imam's Farami, because there are darajat in sinning and then there are darajat in tawbah. And if I remember, we did discuss tawbatan nasuha, which is a very elevated level of seeking forgiveness, doing tawbah. And that tawbah only can be done by prophets. Though that tawbah which Quran mentions in chapter 66 verse 8, if I'm not wrong, tawbatan nasuha, that tawbah which is very elevated, it can only be done by prophets who are pure. But there is a tawbah which only they can do, meaning we have not even understood tawbah, we have not understood sinning. So there is so much to learn. And without reading those books and step by step progressing in this knowledge, there is no way we can understand all these concepts. Imam is just touching, Imam is just reminding us that we need to learn these things. Now, here again, Imam is giving example that women should keep their heart pure and not think of men. Shaitan doesn't come from outside, Shaitan is from inside us. And very interestingly, he says that for women, it comes like women. Shaitan takes the form of a woman and comes to a woman to deceive her. And physically, that person would look like you, but it will steal your iman. Now here, remember, we have talked about it, but now it becomes very important that we understand that whenever we read the example of a woman, even Imam has defined woman in other Farmans, which we will read, that this woman is an example of this world. Nathari istri ni misal che. I remember that word in Gujrati, that a woman who is not a good woman, but then he explains that it is like of this world. So that is another example that we are talking, when we talk of woman in the Farmans, we are talking about this physical world, that this physical world has really set into our heart, and we cannot detach from the physical desires, sensual desires, and physical pleasures. And we do not realize that these are just very low level pleasures. There are higher pleasures as well. But if we were to seek that. And then another important part which we have to remember, that when we talk of men and women, it is only Imam who is man, who is Marde Mutallaq. When we talk of souls, and all of us are women. And our true husband, if we were to take that terminology, is Imam. And we are not to be doing, eyeing other men. So other men will become this physical world. Though physically it's also there, we talked about it, but now we're talking about a different point, that when we are, eyeing, meaning this physical world, bad eye, or, seeing this physical world, meaning doing bad nazar, right? Doing this bad nazar. Or Imam says that when a woman is deceived, normally it is deceived by another woman who looks like her, takes the form of a man. Meaning our own brothers and sisters will deceive us. They will look like us. They will become our khair-khwah, well-wisher, and they will deceive us. Only with knowledge we will know who is playing the role of shaitan and who is not. Only knowledge will guide us, because they look like us. So it is very easy to be deceived. So Imam is teaching us not one concept here, not two concepts, but so many concepts here. So many concepts. Starting from backbiting, ghibat, kina, hasad, all those spiritual diseases, to the most high level of deception, which happens in the time, in the era. We see how Mawla Ali's Janashini was not given to Imam, because the well-wisher of Mu'minins told them different things, and Ummah heard them, and there become divisions. So we have to remember that when we study Faramins, it is not limited to physical badnazar only. Yes, that is also there. But sometimes when you read that, then some people may say that, what kind of thinking is that? How Imam is saying that to us? Aren't we moral? Aren't we good humans? We live in this civil society and we are good humans. Yes, you are. But remember, Imam's Farman does not have one meaning in it. So wherever you are, whoever you are, you need to seek at your level that ta'wil. It may be applicable, those who are doing bad nazar physically for sensual pleasures, they are reminded. But those who are not, are you reminded about history lessons? Are you reminded about how the deception is going in this world today, in today's time? Because it is the well-wishers who will take the forms of shaitan and deceive you. Are you aware? Do you have enough knowledge to protect your iman? Shaitan does not come from outside. Shaitan is from inside. Now, another concept which is very important when we talk about term shaitan, and Imam has mentioned shaitan with all the physical examples. So very generally, I would say that Jamaat who studies Farman a lot, they minimize the lesson which is given about Shaitan. Shaitan is related to Nafse Ammara. And Nafse Ammara is not from outside, it is from inside us. And when we feed our own lower eye, this nafs, of course, it becomes very strong and powerful and it continues to deceive us. I see that our time is up, but I just want to show one Quranic verse which is extremely important for us to remember whenever we think of shaitan, in farmans, and do not be limiting it to, physical things. This is the Quranic verse which is extremely important for us to remember. 43, Surah Zukhruf, verse 36. It says, وَمَنْ يَأَشُوا عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقِيَّدْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. Qareen is from close, from, very close companion. And whoever is blinded from remembrance of the most merciful, Rahman, the word is here, Rahman. We have to know Rahman. We have to recognize Rahman. We have to recognize Imam to be able to not become blinded from remembrance. If we don't know Rahman, then there will be high level of deception of being stuck at Shariat level, being blinded by remembrance, from remembrance, meaning becoming pani parast, thinking that we are remembering. So we have to understand there is one category who do not think about these things, who do not go to Jamaat Khana or do not drink Niyaz or don't value Chanta. We are not talking about them. We are talking about those who value these things, who think they are good smileys. This is the Quranic verse teaching us that those who do not know Rahman, they don't remember Rahman, they are blinded. And for them we appoint for him a devil, and he is his companion. So this companion starts from lower level to goes to the higher level, meaning at every darja, at every rank we can imagine, there is shaitan of that level. Only with knowledge and remembrance, because this is right now we are in remembrance. This is Majlis of remembrance, but through knowledge, right? So when we remain blinded from remembrance, this companion who looks like us, our friend, our well-wisher, which is not from outside, it is from inside us. Some call it inner voice. There are very many names for it. He will deceive us. So whenever we study Faramins, we have to understand that the term shaitan, we should not minimize. We should understand this nafs amara, which is inside us, the shaitan within us. And then yes, shaitan comes from outside as well. So again, very broad concept, and I hope if you continue to study or join book studies, you will understand this concept in more detail. I'll stop here, Kareem. Thank you.
Subhanallah. Thank you for clarifying the reason Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah uses the word women, bio, in his Farmans, because if you take it at face value, it would appear that all the men are exempt from any of these issues, and it's all directed to the women, yeah? And as I think most men will agree that the men are more responsible for all these evil doings than women as such. But that was quite an eye-opener, yeah? In terms of rebirth and reincarnation, there is also the term karma. So can you please highlight or say a bit more about karma? Because I think that's related to reincarnation.
Yeah, so karma, karas, all these terms are from Hindu religion. And sometimes you do hear in our Jama'at that people would say, oh, karam hai na, karam to chukana padenge. That's a very negative connotation for all our responsibilities. Sometimes people say that about their children, that karam hai na, karam chukane padenge. Our children, and helping our children become a good moments, and then doing all what is physical is our responsibilities, are a means for a mu'min salik to do ibadat if it is done with the understanding. Helping children, guiding them, taking care of them when they are young. Adults, it's totally different. Adults make their own decision. We are not talking about that. But when children are young and they completely need us, and parents, it is very easy, because it is not easy to bring up children's, and then you become overwhelmed and hear these comments. And so this is just one tiny example that can be applied to very many things. And when we say karam hai bhukone padenge, we are undermining the ibadat which has been given to us. So apply it in any example you are in, and when you think of word karam in your life, you are losing an opportunity to do that ibadat. Our relations, our businesses, our jobs, and everything, a mu'min does all those things happily, not with complaint. Moments don't whine, don't complain, because in every task which we do becomes the reason for his mercy. To receive his mercy, double portion of his mercy, I would say, according to Talimat of Quran. Every physical task we do in our families is a reason for receiving double portion of his mercy. But you have to understand that, right? The way we just learned that a moment going to Jamaat Khana doing chata can be called pani paras, because there's no understanding. Similarly, when we use this words karam or karas, we think that, oh, we have to become bhagat. We all probably stay in Jamaat Khana 24 hours or do yali yali and then leave the physical duties. It will be, pani paras, the example. It will be wrong of that moment. The true moment has to fulfill all the tasks which are given to us. Working, taking care of family, meaning living a very hard life, making it so difficult for us to remain a good person. It is easy to become a bhagat. In Gnan, this Pir says, right? Jugat jol santosha patra kare. And Pir then teaches, danda karo vichara. Meaning that, yes, it is very easy examples when we see bhagat and yogis, associating these terms of karas and karam, that we have, gotten ridden of those karams, and we are just doing the main karam, which is to take our soul to salvation. They have not understood the essence. They have missed it completely. Especially in Ismaili Tariqa, Imam has clearly guided us that we do not do that. So every karam, if you want to think negatively, then your attitude will be negative as well. We are not with karam. We are finding, another Gnan verse which I remember. He jug heart part bazar kari jano. The Gnan verse, which means that this world, make this world as if we are in a mall. And every relation, every person who comes into contact with us is like a shop in the mall, a reason to earn. So Pir teaches us, he jugat, he jug, heart part kari jano, meaning that make this world reason for your earning, make, doing business. And Pir has called us Varanjara, that you are a businessman, you have come to this world. So all these examples from Ginan, from Quran, all these are guiding us, teaching us that we cannot have the negative attitude. Karam word is a boj, a burden on me. There is no karam, you are free. In today's time in this world, you can walk out of every responsibility if you want to. But that is an example for us to understand that whatever we have, it is the reason for us to elevate. Whatever tests, trials, difficulties we have, and we may think of it as karam. Don't think it negatively, think it as mercy, because it is a reason for us to elevate. Again, it is a very big concept, and I hope if you've been attending these, classes with Nachis, we have talked about it in so many different ways. So there is no karam, there is no karas, but to fulfill the duties as a Mu'min and Salik has been assigned to us in form of our family, in form of our work, in form of our taking care of our health, learning this knowledge as well. All these are our pleasures, our happiness, we willingly take upon us with intellect. With intellect. We do not want to unnecessarily increase. This is another important point, that if somebody, constantly goes out, make friends and relations, in lane then their mind is busy always in these, this gathering and that gathering. I have done this, so I have to return. All these which you normally hear in our families, in different families, this is to increase our time, giving it to that direction. That takes away our time from our knowledge, our ibadat, and our peace. We are increasing these relations. So there's a fine balance for us to understand that when we say that take all these duties and responsibilities with happiness, with mercy of Imam, do that with intellect, not without intellect. So I don't believe in the word karam, but I do believe in his mercy.
Friends, if you have any comments, questions, or reflections, please come forward. I have one comment. In the surah that you showed us, can we therefore assume that every one of us has a devil with us? And
Yes.
by subduing the only way to subdue the devil is by remembrance?
Yes. So remembrance, exactly. That's what we said. Remembrance is also another broader concept, right? So yes, each one of us has our companion as devil. Remember that we have two companions. One is angel and one is shaitan. That's how we also it has been explained to us, right? And if we pay attention to the devil, that's what he's going to, guide, meaning they'll deceive us. His work is to take us to deception. And only by staying in remembrance, we will give more attention to the angel, reminding us to do good, to do, stay in remembrance, to purify our deeds. So, yes, each of us has been assigned or appointed a companion, which is shaitan, but it can be overpowered the way Prophet Muhammad has told us, right? That my shaitan has accepted Islam on my hand, meaning he also had a companion which was shaitan, but he transformed his nafse ammara to nafse lawama, taking it to nafse mutmainna, carnal soul, and then censoring soul, and then um, satisfied soul. So we also have this companion appointed for us, and we need to make him Muslim, make him make this beast. Man to maha balwan ke ye, the way Ginan says, make this beast be obedient to us by not feeding or listening to it.
Okay. Any comments or reflections, friends?
याली मदद
Malali Madad.
शुक्र मुल्ला, आपका सेशन बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत ज़्यादा आज नॉलेज मिली। आप थोड़ा ईमान के दर्जात पे रोशनी डालेंगे?
Iman ke darja, bilkul. So, our dear friend Shamim is asking about what are the different levels of Iman. So, we talked about three terms, but to make it more clear and understanding, when someone has knowledge of Kriya, they go to Jama'at Khana and they're very regular, let's say. They do all the Shariat of our tariqah. playing the song, they're saying dua, attending Jama'at Khana, attending majalis, Chandrat majlis, they're doing everything, chanta, niyaz, and they're very regular. But if they are not seeking knowledge, their iman is unfortunately iman-e-naqis, incomplete iman. It is not even iman-e-raji, the one who is seeking the completion of the iman. So, important point is that when we are, the next step, which is iman-e-raji, meaning the one who is seeking for the completion of the iman, cannot be without knowledge. And if you were to think of yourselves, the reason why are we gathered here? Each one of you had questions. Why this and why that? And you were truly praying to Imam that why? Tell me, why do I do this? Why do I keep going to Jama'at Khana? Why do I keep drinking niyaz and I don't see any change in me? Why do I sit in bandagi and I don't see any elevation? Because you are asking these questions of why, that is why you are here. Meaning, one group is such that who blindly follows and they're happy without asking questions. It is extremely important habit which we need to inculcate in our children, to ask questions. Because it is only the questions, it is only the search and the seeking which brought us here in this knowledge journey. And when one is on the knowledge journey, I can say that it is iman-e-raji. It is that iman which is seeking its completion. The way we studied in Surah Zukhruf, that, we have to see the mercy of Rahman. All these, Quranic verses, when we see Farmans, all that has much more than just what we are seeing. There are so many tawilat. Only those who are asking questions, and after asking questions are willing to take more commitment on them, meaning to study and to go further, because first path is ilmul yaqeen. For iman to become complete, we need ilmul yaqeen. It is only through ilmul yaqeen that we will elevate to ainul yaqeen, meaning we will be able to see things in our batin. We will be able to receive answers in our batin. We will be listening to more to our angel speaking to us and not listening to this shaitan, because we are not going to feed him. We are not going to listen to him, because we now know how to differentiate how the shaitan deceives us. So when we are seeking knowledge, then we are saying that it is iman-e-raji. And inshallah, with mercy of Imam, we will get to ainul yaqeen. We will get to haqqul yaqeen. One way or the other, we will. Because there is no other path. If we are here, there is no other direction. We will get there. And that time will be iman-e-kamil. Thank you, Shamim, for asking a wonderful question.
Friends, any other questions or comments before we close the session? Well, thank you, Niamat Saiba, once again for a wonderful session. Inshallah, we'll meet next week again to continue with Farman 39. Thank you, friends, for joining, and Yali Madad.
Thank you, friends. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Thank you, Niamat Saiba.
Thank you, Karima. Yali Madad.